Frustration, an essential subject from Vinipedia. Without taking to God consciousness and accepting the authority of the Lord, the living entities become ultimately confused and frustrated in their plan-making attempts. Srila Prabhupada says, "Those of you who are feeling frustration and confused, kindly take to this chanting of Hare Krishna mantra. There is no expenditure, there is no loss. We are not charging anything. It is not a business that we are asking you to pay something because I am giving this information. No, it is freely distributed." Srila Prabhupada's books, lectures, conversations and letters offer a comprehensive presentation of this essential subject as seen in the Vinikote's frustration category. An introduction from his books is given below in the following 10 quotes. Quotes from Srila Prabhupada's books. JNS, karmas and materialistic plan makers generally attract the attention of conditioned souls, but when the materialists cannot fulfill their plans and when their devices are frustrated, they become angry. Frustration of material desires produces anger. Nectar of Devotion, Chapter 1. Even if we are able to do something temporarily beneficial, time will see that the good project is frustrated in course of time. The only thing possible to be done is to get rid of eternal time, KLA, which is compared to KLA Sarpa, or the cobra snake, whose bite is always lethal. No one can be saved from the bite of a cobra. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.13, 46. By the grace of the Lord one is allowed to enjoy this material world, but when one is disgusted with material enjoyment and is frustrated, and when one sincerely surrenders unto the lotus feet of the Lord, then the Lord is so kind that he frees one from entanglement. Krishna says, therefore, in Bhagavad Gita, first of all surrender, and then I will take charge of you and free you from all reactions of sinful activities. Srimad Bhagavatam 3.25. 10. By the arrangement of supernatural power, even the great scientists and thinkers of the world suffer frustration of their various plans and thus rot in the material world birth after birth. Srimad Bhagavatam 3.9. 10. As soon as we get in touch with him, our gradual endowment with all bliss begins. The first installment of this bliss is the clearance of the layer of dust that has accumulated in our hearts due to millions of years of material association. As soon as the dust of materialism is brushed aside, the clear mirror of the heart reflects the presence of the Lord. And as soon as we see him, we are automatically freed from all kinds of aspirations and frustrations. Mukunda ML Statra, Text 1. Anger causes frustration, as in the story of the unsuccessful fox and the sour grapes. The living entity is then forced to pretend to be a renouncer. But at the bottom of such renunciation burns the great flame of greed and the desire for enjoyment. Renunciation through Wisdom, Chapter 1.4. It is astonishing to see how a person who is being kicked by the laws of the Lord's illusory energy at every step can falsely think of becoming one with the Lord. Such thinking is the last snare of the illusory energy offered to the conditioned soul. The first illusion is that he wants to become Lord of the material world by accumulating wealth and power, but when he is frustrated in that attempt, he wants to be one with the Lord. So both becoming the most powerful man in the material world and desiring to become one with the Lord are different illusory snares. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.9. 30. The devotees who always engage in the service of Narya Parya can easily achieve the favor of the goddess of fortune without a doubt, but materialists who try to get the favor of the goddess of fortune only to possess her for personal enjoyment are frustrated. Theirs is not a good policy. Srimad Bhagavatam 8.8. 9. One has to get rid of all three stages of material consciousness: attachment to material life, fear of a spiritual personal identity, and the conception of void that arises from frustration in life. To get free from these three stages of the material concept of life, one has to take complete shelter of the Lord, guided by the bona fide spiritual master, and follow the disciplines and regulative principles of devotional life. The last stage of the devotional life is called Bhava, or transcendental love of Godhead. Bhagavad Gita 4.10. The pure devotee's mundane frustration is meant to elevate the devotee to a higher transcendental position. By placing Arjuna and the Pandavas in frustration due to the intrigue of their cousin brothers, the prelude of the Battle of Kurukshetra was created by the Lord. This was to incarnate the sound representative of the Lord. Bhagavad Gita. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.18. 31.